Resident Evil 6. So the demo dropped, it was on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade, so everybody got their hands on it and their actual hands-on impressions of it, and I myself naturally had to have something to say about it. And I was kind of debating on it, to be honest. It's like, oh, Resident Evil is going to be such a big deal, do I really want to spoil anything for me by downloading the demo and going and playing that? Then I eventually said fuck it, because I had every single person from every single corner of the fucking planet, including the fucking stratosphere to all other ends of the universe, just saying, hey, did you check it out? So I was like, fuck it, I will. So I went and I downloaded it, and it's split up into 3 parts. One of those trays, and that's into Leon's game, Jake's game, Chris's game. Now, I have to say, flat out right now, truly and honestly, Leon's game was my favorite portion of the game, Chris's game was my least favorite part of it, and Jake's was surprisingly fun, but still not up to snuff with Leon's portion. That's just my opinion, just based off of what I've seen so far within the demo. Now, let's go into a couple things. Number one, in Leon's game, I sat there amused to no fucking end. Going, and you can go up to your partner and everything, and you can tell him, you know, good job, and praise him and all that other shit. But did you see how his arm moves around? It looks like it's made of rubber and shit. He's like this. And I can stop walking around just like, good going, nice going, you're pretty hot, Titits McGee. It's just like doing this all the entire time, and his arms just fucking flapping about and everything. And it's like doing this, and it looks so unnatural because his entire body is completely stiff, straight and everything, not moving, and his arms just like it's just doing this the entire time. What's even better is his fucking partner Helena. She's doing it too, and she's just like, yeah, doing that. It was fucking funny as hell. And what's weird is when I was looking online, Conan O'Brien, dude does talk show to comedian and all that other shit, he actually ended up demoing the game, and he kept doing that too. And I was just like, I'm glad I'm not the only fucking person. I was just like, yeah. But anyway, so running around, you know, a bunch of zombies were popping up, everything, you're fucking killing them. And I like the fact that there was various sections in the game where they're just like pouring into areas. And I was just like, hooray, I'm roundhouse kicking motherfuckers, I'm smashing their faces into the walls, I'm blowing their heads off and everything. And all in all, it was pretty damn fun, you know, I mean, it gets us open up with you blowing the fucking president's brains out. Alright. America! Fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, America! Resident Evil 6. Fuck yeah! But anyway, that's a really good movie. Seriously, if you're watching this and you're like, Team America, I don't know about that. Fuck you! That was a good movie. It made me chuckle. So, anyway, Leon's game, really liked it. It did have the survival horror aspect to it, even though it was very action-heavy, but I didn't really mind, because it still had the mood and setting. It is kind of funny, though, because this was, like, I guess, kind of a college campus, university, whatever, and you're running around and everything, and I was looking, I'm like, okay, so they painted all the walls with, like, Silent Hill decor paint, and they were like, alright, you know, this is supposed to be, like, an up-to-date place, and it just looked like absolute shit. They have like boxes everywhere. I was like, haven't these people ever figured out like just how to store shit? They're just like chucking everything in any random area. What that has to do with the fucking core gameplay mechanics? Nothing, but it was something that came to mind. I was like, huh, that's kind of just strange. But anyway, you know, you got to see the little new hub that they have, and they also have the thing, it kind of like in Dead Space, where you're like, oh shit, I need to figure out where I'm going to go, and you pull up the little navigation thing, and an arrow will tell you where you're supposed to go. I like Dead Spaces a lot more because it actually has a guided line. This one just has like a random arrow that shows up and it's like, blip, right there, you fucking retard, go that way. So that was kind of cool that they had that. The shooting mechanics, you can, get this shit, get ready for your fucking mind to just to be blown. You can walk and shoot. Can you fucking believe that concept? Here, I can walk backwards and shoot. I can stray from side to side and shoot. And I can walk forward. And, I mean, legs moving and your fucking itchy trigger finger can go off. Holy shit, what an interesting fucking concept. I didn't see that shit coming. I was like, wow, you finally got the memo. You know, the stacks of memos, enough to be able to build yourself a new fucking high-rise. That's amazing. That's so fucking amazing. So, Anyhow, so Leon's game, fucking awesome. Played through Chris's. Like I said, Chris's game was the least interesting. And there's one thing I have to fucking absolutely take note. One, Chris is extremely fucking one-dimensional now. He's just like, he basically looks like he was picked out of a fucking, like, a G.I. Joe casting call and dropped into this. And then they were like, have you heard about Call of Duty and Gears of War? And he was just like, I can't hear you over my lack of neck. And they're like, Call of Duty and Gears of War, have you heard of it? And he's like, oh shit, neck? What? BSAA and shit? Bizarre? So, they have him in this extremely action-oriented and action-heavy fucking segments where literally it was like third-person fucking Call of Duty or Gears of War. I mean, everybody was just running around just like, oh, steroid gun, go! My dick is small and so are my balls, but my muscles are fucking huge. So, you're running around doing that, and the thing is, none of this was fucking scary to me whatsoever. It actually reminded me of Lost Planet, oddly. So you're running around and motherfuckers are just jumping up and they all have their fucking guns. None of them remind me of like something that might be infected or kind of scary. You'll randomly every so often have like the one dude that'll fucking pop up and be like, ugh, I got the crazy fucking arm, now it's a shield, and it's like, this is still not all that interesting by comparison to fucking Leon's game. That's just my opinion, but still. And there was one funny part, like in the introductory scene whenever everybody's talking to Chris and whatnot. So they're talking to him, and the fucking thing is, I swear to God, they should have just all had a Chris Redfield circle jerk. Like, oh my God, isn't he awesome? Oh, I would just nosedive into a big vat of his semen if I could. It's just, oh my God. It was like Chris Redfield fanboys. Everything he says just fucking nips are hard. Just cut some glass with these bitches. I was like, damn. Just might as well just have like a little fucking ticket booth and one ticket, one ride on the ding dong. You can do it. It's like a fucking swing and swings you around. So, but you already come to expect that, you know, his segment of the game, just judging from all the trailers and the gameplay footage and all the other fucking pictures that they showed off, was he was going to run around with a bunch of guns and shoot a lot of shit, and that's essentially what it is. His game is extremely action-oriented. If extremely action-oriented games are your thing, then you'll fucking love the shit out of this. But when I see Resident Evil on the title, I'm just like, I want to be scared. I want everything to be creepy. I want to have, like, very limited ammo. I don't want every single fucking enemy that I shoot point blank in the face to go and shit themselves and bullets just come pouring out. I'm like, oh, cool. And, like, 19 guns and everything. I'm like, you know, it's like having like an entire fucking arsenal with you. You know, you'll have fucking a machine gun and a rocket launcher and fucking handgun. You have knives and grenades. It doesn't even fucking matter what comes your way. Like, you could sit there fucking like hula hooping in the middle of all this shit and shoot the fucking hell out of everything without even fucking worrying about how much ammo that you have. Like, I think health items are about the only thing that you'd have to worry about, and even then, those are plentiful. And there's this gigantic monster. I mean, like, absolutely huge. If you thought that some of the enemies in like Resident Evil 4 and 5 were kind of big, no. This one is like as big as the buildings and just goes crashing through and has a gigantic thing sitting on top, and it's like, oh, that big red thing there. Red in any game where you have a gun means shoot it. It'll probably explode or it's a weak point. So you're like, da 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 da. And, you know, it's amusing and everything, but it reminded me a whole bunch of Resident Evil 5 and everything, and that brought back really bad memories, and then all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to have to go back to counseling again over that shit. So then we'll go and move on, and in the very last segment of the game, Wesker's little boy got to run around with him and Sherry, which was really cool just to see Sherry, because I mean, Sherry was that slow-ass little girl nobody wanted to play as in Resident Evil 2, and we're like, get this bitch the fuck out of here. But it was really neat, because I remember a while ago I was mentioning in a video, well before, like, you know, Resident Evil 6 was even fucking talked about, I was mentioning, like, man, where the fuck has Sherry been? Wouldn't it be cool if, like, she was grown up and became, like, a fucking zombie ass kicker? What do you know? And she's running around helping you fucking put zombies in their place. Just shoot them a couple times, they're like, blah, 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 and they go away and everything and turn into some kind of really disgusting pudding and shit. But so you're running around, and it's pretty badass because he's very hand-to-hand oriented. you know, pretty much just like his dad and everything. But I have to say that his attitude and his personality I like quite a bit, just because he was a smartass, quite snarky and everything. And I was like, oh, I can deal with this guy here. He's pretty cool. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's got some charisma going. That's pretty cool, and he's rather lighthearted humor, so bravo to that. I'm glad that not everything is fucking doom and gloom, all things go boom, and Resident Evil 6! Because, you know, I don't like when things are serious the entire time, because you need something to just kind of shake things up and everything, and send a rift through it. But yeah, he's definitely helping in that. And there was parts, you know, you're climbing up and you're swinging on things and doing flips and whatnot. And it made me think of like Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed and whatnot. And I was just like, huh, not in a bad way, mind you. It was kind of interesting, but again, for a lot of Resident Evil purists, whenever they see like this complete change, they're just like, what the fuck is this? You know? And I can completely understand that, because I just want a core survival horror experience. And, you know, I got that with Revelations on the 3DS, and then some. But I felt like this game, what they're really going for is, like, 3 completely different feelings, like, for, like, gameplay style, at least. You know, Chris, all action. Leon, it's action with more survival horror. And then Jake's game is, like, really a combination of the two, I guess. Except for his, it has a lot more, like, get right up in her face. Engage in fisticuffs! Come on! And you have to have, like, the really awesome mustaches and shit like that, and the white beaters with the fucking stripes on them. Somebody out there has to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Those gentlemen with the parted hair and whatnot that comes up like this. Babbling on about that. But anyway. But it wasn't bad. I played through every single one of them. I played through Leon's twice, and I played through the other ones once apiece. And while I enjoyed the living shit out of it, I'm really hoping that the end product is just going to be extremely badass and knock it out of the park, because keep in mind that we're coming off of Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 5 for a lot of people was the weakest of the entire, like, main canon series. You know, there's people that'll go and discriminate against Code Veronica and everything just because of how absolutely fucking difficult it was. But I actually enjoyed that game, despite how fucking hard that game is during the beginning segments of it, at least the first half. But this game, you know, while it's not bad, it's still got, you know, that over-the-top action feel for it. There was some segments, like when Leon jumps inside the car, where it's like quick-time events and whatnot, and there is like the quick-time events whenever some zombies pal onto you. And, you know, we've already seen, like, trailers and everything, gameplay footage, where you're kind of just doing all this crazy shit that you would normally want to play through, but it's going to be more QuickTime events. So I'm hoping that those are actually kept at a minimum, and we are getting to enjoy ourselves and go through it. I'm kind of curious if they're going to have any kind of puzzles thrown about within the game. If they do, awesome. If they don't, then yeah, I'm not really all that fucking surprised, quite frankly. I'm hoping that there's a bunch of fucking secrets, and the only thing that I can say genuinely I'm pretty fucking jacked off about, and that's because this was actually brought up by a couple of you, and I didn't get to make a video about it, but I will talk about it right now, and that's the fucking DLC that they already announced for, like, day 1 DLC already, and it's like, God, fuck! Like, really? Already? Like, really, do you gotta fucking do that? But apparently they do, so additional modes and everything and whatnot, it's just fucking mind-numbingly stupid, but whatever, this is about the demo, I should concentrate on the demo and everything. So the demo was very enjoyable, I did like it quite a bit. You know, it's a step up from Resident Evil 5, but I'm ultimately going to reserve all of my judgment for when I get the entire game in my hands and I can go through it from start to finish. You know, I want to play through the game with an additional person, just see what it's like. The one thing that I actually didn't mention, I'll mention right now, is the AI is a lot more helpful this time around. I swear, they didn't have, like, Sheva Tard syndrome, okay? Like, Sheva was just a fucking idiot. They just replaced all of her brains with fucking, like, Bisquick or something, and basically, like, used her fucking skull as an ashtray every so often. But, it's funny because I was just, that's what I was expecting. I was like, oh great, every single fucking character that you pick has an AI-controlled character to run around with you and serve as some help. But no, they can actually fend off enemies on their own, they help shooting stuff, and in Leon's game, man, Helena fucking, she KS'd me several times, and everybody's like, KS, she stole my kills a couple times. I'm sitting there aiming, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a nice headshot, then all of a sudden she's like, dut, 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 and I'm like, you fucking cunt, I can't believe it. Oh! So I was just like, I can't believe that fucking bastard bitch. taking my fucking kills. And I turned around, aimed at her, and I'm sitting there fucking just trigger happy. Oh! But naturally, you know, going psycho dad and fucking just going crazy and whatnot, and you can't kill your partner. Wish that you could, because it could be relatively funny, but still. Lobbing grenades about, you know, that's always all and good. If you can't fucking get the shots off, then, you know, there you go. And is it me, or do they have, like, the most sturdy fucking craniums nowadays? I was just like, damn, they're fucking shooting them in the head. I swear it has to be, like, right there, some shit like that. You know, it's Botox injection. But don't ask. I've been watching some random ass shit on TV. But anyway, so it's just like, is that where you need to fucking shoot? Because there was tons of times I was like, bang, 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 what the fuck, why don't you die? And then there's just like a couple zombies, they're just like, ugh. I'm like, pow, and they're just like, psh, in one shot. I'm like, huh, well, whatever. But, yeah, you know, I enjoyed it. It's Resident Evil. I'm just happy to see more Resident Evil, get my hands on it, because after you see so many trailers and videos and whatnot, you want to be able to control it. You want to be able to get in the thick of it and get balls deep in all the fucking survival horror action and everything. But I'm kind of curious for all of you out there that did get to download it and get to check it out, did you actually like it, or did you just think it was a heaping fucking steaming pile? Or are you just not going to play it and just reserve all your judgment whenever you get the full game in your hands because you don't want to spoil anything for yourself? Whatever the case is, there is a comment box down below me, and you can comment inside of it. You can be like, it was super awesome, no, fuck that, I changed my mind and shit. It doesn't really matter either way, because if you, oh, and by the way, guess that is my new hit #1 fucking single, fuck yeah! But genuinely, if you liked it, awesome. If you didn't like it, awesome. It doesn't matter. They're all opinions. Like assholes, we all have one. And my opinion is, I liked it. It was pretty decent. You know, could it have been better? In some parts, I would have changed some shit. But overall, I still enjoyed it quite a bit. You know, I'm not saying it is the fucking second coming of Christ and the best thing ever. But it was very enjoyable and I did like it a lot. So that's my opinion. But, what is yours and everything? And if you want to make a video response to this, talking in great detail about everything, you can do that too. I know that there's tons of things I failed to mention and everything, but I don't feel like talking on for hours upon hours upon hours. This, I pretty much think, will be able to sum things up. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Good going. I wish that both of his thumbs could go like that and he just walks around like this. That'd be fucking ridiculous. Oh, look at the thumbs up. But anyway, so this has been AlphaOmegaSin. Nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.